These are candy cigarettes, just like the ones Daddy smoked, and these are kids mimicking adults everywhere, as they do. This is the Gen Experience. I'm Victor, and I was one of those kids, spending my coin for candy cigarettes and other candies with gimmicks hard to resist. Thanks for coming back to the show as we explore the countless candies whose unique gimmicks to stand out got us hooked. I know you're starting to remember, so hurry and hit that like so we can get on with it. While you're there, click the subscribe for more great content from the greatest era. They may not have been the real thing, but they were undeniably close. In another time, although the health hazards were known, very few people took heed in the dangers of smoking. It was an era where we looked up to our heroes, our parents, astronauts, favorite TV characters. Surprise, they all smoked. Wanting to emulate our idols, we all had candy cigarettes in hand. With carefully designed packs to imitate real products, we'd practice holding our cigarette while simulating puffing what amounted to a piece of chalk. And chalk tastes bad. There were some made of chocolate, but that was just messy. There were also cigar versions, complete with distinctive bands. They were often pink and had that bubblegum flavor that has become standard. Also bad. Oh, and we can't forget the select brands containing powdered sugar that we could inhale and would act as smoke you could exhale for a more convincing portrayal of a 9-year-old tough guy taking a drag. Since I've never smoked myself, obviously having these little candy toys didn't influence me much. They may not say Pall Mall, but that is undeniably Lucky Strike. Getting away from the chalk for a moment, another bland and rather tasteless treat we all kept coming back to was the candy button. They were more like plain fondant, and no one likes that. If someone says they like basic fondant, they're liars. The big ploy here was that it was on rolls of wax paper you could continually pull out with seemingly endless amounts of colorful little dots or buttons that you could peel off yourself and pop in your mouth.
What fun!
We kids thought we were getting a great value, but those little dots totaled no more amount of candy than a bag of bottle caps. It really isn't that funny, but as kids we thought they were a riot. Candy that came with jokes and puns like Laffy Taffy made this candy extra special, and we couldn't wait to unwrap the laughs. It wasn't always jokes. One of the worst gums ever made, Bazooka, came with a short, funny comic strip starring Bazooka Joe. It had nothing to do with the actual firearm, but at least it distracted us from that hard-ass pink square of bubblegum that hurt your jaw during initial chewing and tasted as good as licking concrete. And even that only lasted about 15 seconds. But we kept buying it. Kids make poor choices, let's face it. What possibly drew us to these candies that would never satisfy a sweet tooth today? It may not have been plain fondant on a strip of paper, but another rather tasteless treat along with a disgusting habit came from these little goodies. No, not candied plutonium rods, but these. And yes, these. A combination gag gift and candy, they were food-grade wax to chew on, and they were supposed to be some kind of flavor that I think resembled perhaps something like, but not entirely exactly, but as if it wanted to maybe cherry? Usually used just to give your friends a good laugh, as I didn't know anybody who ate them. Did you? This gruesome twosome, and even this guy, were sold right next to another wax concoction, wax bottles. Chew on this. After chewing and tearing the top off the wax bottle, at least this one had a payoff. About 1 ounce of sweet juice to anyone who could make it through the thick wax container. After drinking it, what did you do then? You chewed on the wax bottle, of course. It wasn't even flavored. Anyone who liked these want to shed a little light on the fascination of the wax treats. I would appreciate it. I think we all would. Let us know. Pez. The gimmick was obvious. They had us with the whole head swinging back thing, serving me one sugar cube at a time. Sure, candy by definition, but more like chalk dust from all the eraser banging we did as a kid. And no, that's not a euphemism. These candies prove kids do not have refined taste buds, and it was the gimmick that sold it. It could have been compressed charcoal ash for all we know. Surprisingly, there was more flavor in some Pez, more than other chalk candies at the time, like orange, the only flavor I could tolerate. So pull back that superhero or cartoon ape head and get served up a lackluster pill-shaped candy. No wonder we often played doctor with these, dishing out pretend medicine in the form of Pez pills. In this case, a spoonful of sugar was just nasty, and a good water chaser was in order. Maybe it was our era's Cracker Jack, but wacky packs took trading cards to a whole new direction. Trading cards had been around for generations, baseball and other sports being some of the biggest to be encased in their wax paper envelope with a small piece of pink gum. At least I think it was gum. It chewed. after some time being moistened by saliva. As we were not very discerning as kids, it was candy. It came with trading cards. Eat it. What Wacky Packs did was pave the way for Garbage Pail Kids, a truly Gen Extinct treat. These were not only cards, but each of the Wacky Packs cards was actually a sticker. A pun-filled Mad Magazine-style parody of artwork on a sticker. Stickers ruled. Do you remember sticker books and sticker trading? If there was an empty space, a sticker could fill it. They were plastered on everything. As long as the trading card sticker business was in business, we couldn't have nice things. Many of these candy gimmicks were more powerful with marketing that made products created as early as the 1920s and 30s fit right into the Gen experience and its crazy capitalism. Today, candy companies barely advertise, and where there was once tons of variety of bite-sized and individually wrapped candies to pick from, now you find most of these things only in bulk and online. Marketing sure helped gum, from Hubba Bubba to Freshen Up.
What do you love when you bite into one?
Well, that squirts.
Freshen Up freshens breath with a tingly liquid center. One bite squirts refreshment all over your breath.
Nothing was more advertiser-friendly than Big League Chew when it debuted in 1980. This was the original package of Big League Chew. This is the current one. Notice the obvious change? Just like candy cigarettes, Big League Chew was not so subtly showing us how fucking cool dip was. Nothing says gum like man-sized wads, but this was about chew, and baseball popularized it. This shredded gum, a masterpiece of marketing, had every kid emulating their athlete gods with what was marketed as a healthy imitation of tobacco chewing. Coming in a fresh pouch, you would simply pinch just enough gum to shove between your teeth and cheek. However, you did chew this, only spitting it out when you were all done. As a kid, guys dribbling into cups was fascinating, at the same time disgusting. I thought, one day, I'll have a chew ring in my back pocket, just like my sister's boyfriend. I learned the hard way that chew was not for me, nor was that cheek full of chaw on the package. Side note, when they debuted shredded beef jerky, nothing kept me from pinching a sample of that savory dry beef from the cylindrical can, shoving between my cheek and gums and sucking the salt right out of it between my teeth. This was a chew ring I could handle. Okay, I suppose the gimmick here was simply straight sugar in a stick, more like a straw. Once you opened one end, you could suck it up if that was what you were wanting to do. This sugary treat gave it to us straight and finally got the flavoring just right. Trying to manage how much you put on your tongue was anything but scientific, and even if you weren't trying to get a boost of energy, you got it. They perfected artificially flavored sugar with unadulterated results with the ever-popular Pixie Sticks. No one just ate one, right? They often came in bulk, so that must mean you consume more, right? That's what I did, and I probably got sick. Mixing flavors was always exciting, and even more exciting when I was older, and mixed them with vodka shots. Now, take the Pixie Stick and just add more powder and make 3 different flavored powders in one package. And if that wasn't enough, you don't have to pour it down your throat from a straw, getting the paper all nappy and wet with your saliva each time you touch it to your tongue. Fun Dip introduced a finger-sized white stick to lick and pick up the sugar with ease. Then, you could just suck it off. Of course, the stick was also made of compressed plain white sugar, so your dosage of sugar intake was more than you could possibly imagine. Come on, don't tell me you didn't try this. These were just as popular at the Little League concession stand as Big League Chew and Pop Rocks. Yeah, they're still around and they did not kill anyone, and you cannot make a grenade out of them mixed with soda. I've tried, but this candy is still a trip. And Rice Krispies talking from a bowl got nothing on a candy where leaving your mouth open for the best results can come with unexpected casualties, as these little buggers might pop right out of your mouth trying to escape. Now suck on this. The best two-for gimmick of all time. Take that delicious bite-sized little piece of mystery fudge Tootsie Roll and stick it in the middle of one of the sugariest suckers with as intense a flavor as Kool-Aid and call it a Tootsie Pop. Yeah, we called lollipops suckers back then, but we meant nothing of it because these bad boys lasted forever. But could you? Just like the famous commercial, we couldn't wait and impatiently bit hard to get at that gooey goodness in the center of a Tootsie Roll Tootsie Pop.
The world may never know.
Now, sucking and blowing was never so easy or fun. Everyone wanted to try, and it was as sweet as it was disgusting. We bought these hard candies on a stick to not only get some of our sugar rush, but to make a melody on the functioning whistle made of hard candy. We blew through our loose change like we blew our candy flutes, for the high-pitched squeal reward and a saccharine-filled load projected right out of the hole. Yikes! Maybe that's why these are hard to find. But you don't have to look too hard to find their grossly oversized pacifier cousins called Ring Pop. Just right for sucking on the go or the perfect rave accessory. A staple in the 80s, nerds have surprising longevity. No, not these nerds. These nerds. They took combination flavors to a whole new level. These booger-shaped pieces of flavored candies were dispensed in unique boxes with 2 different slide openings, accessing 2 halves of a box. You could determine how much of each of the 2 flavors you wanted, or just stick with one. Problem is, you couldn't eat just one. Named Candy of the Year in 1985, they are still around today, and like so many 80s products, this candy became a cereal. That, however, is very extinct. Okay, that was 13 candy gimmicks, but I've got one more, the last one, and it's like a bonus because it's a candy bar. There isn't much of a gimmick to simply mixing different ingredients for just the right amount of sweet taste for the perfected combination of your favorite candy bar. And my favorite, until it was discontinued, was Marathon. Marketed by John Wayne's son in the commercial, they got me with the sight of the endless candy coming from its package, promising 8 inches of ooey gooey chocolate caramel. 8 inches of anything is awesome. But for a kid, this meant the longest candy bar they had ever seen. To make sure you knew how much you were getting, they had even printed a ruler on the back of the wrapper to show you just how much sweet candy you were getting. And we bought it, the candy bar and the whole optical illusion. Marathon had no more candy by volume than Snickers. It just knew how to present it in a curly whirly swirl of braided caramel-filled candy, complete with the holes. But it looked bigger than the other kids' candy, and that's all that mattered. Too bad the price was probably as inflated as the marketing. Sadly, our story has come to an end, and your neighborhood store's candy assortment is stale and common. The same old standbys line the shelves of every chain. If you can find those unique brick and mortar vintage candy stores, you're in luck, because all of these great sweet treats to get your sugar on are available in those rare locations. If not, online might be the best way to go, but it's just not the same. Kids just can't grab a friend and walk or jump on their bike to ride off to pick up their favorite candy with the loose change collected over the week. Purchasing candy as a kid during that bygone era couldn't be rushed. It was like an adult buying shoes or even a new car. You can't hurry the decision. The candy chooses you. What other candy comes to mind? I love those vintage candy stores with all the favorites you can't even get at a 7-Eleven anymore, but I know I missed some. I was concentrating a lot on the 70s and 80s for sure, but let us know of any others you remember that had a device to entice your purchase. Please share in the comments because we all would like to time travel to a simpler era. Thanks for watching, and check out another great show on the channel like this one. If you're a fan of the Gen Experience, please click like and subscribe to watch all kinds of great content. Thanks again, and until next time.